So we've just found out more about the Macallan and Lalique fifth pillar launch. Can you tell us a little bit more about how the brand partnership came about?
Well, it goes back actually to about 2004, and we came up with the idea that we really wanted to try and celebrate each of the 6 pillars of the Macallan, which is something it's fundamental to us and what we say about the Macallan and all those things which define the character of the Macallan. And we wanted to find a slightly different way to celebrate each of the 6 pillars, and we thought it'd be wonderful to come together with somebody who could design some wonderful decanters, picking up, if you like, different features of each of the 6 pillars. And in those decanters, we would look to fill some of our oldest and rarest Macallan whiskies. We were introduced to Lalique actually quite early on, when we were sort of early on in the exercise. And we just instantly, I think, formed, if you like, a mutual attraction, in the sense that we felt they shared a lot of the passion and the heritage and the craftsmanship and all the things which are massively important to us at the Macallan.
Back in the day when you first got together with Lalique to plan the collection and the collaboration, was it always destined for travel retail?
Yes, I think we were never restricted in terms of our vision for the decanter and who should be buying it, where they should be buying it. As far as we were concerned, this was something we were so proud of. We really wanted to make it available for as many people as possible around the world, and to try and expose it in as many channels as possible.
So obviously this is a really limited edition collection. Can you tell me how many casks went into the release?
Into this particular one, 3 casks were chosen, which were all distilled and filled into the wood in November 1950. They were tipped and filled into the crystal decanters a few months ago, so that makes it a 62-year-old Macallan whisky.
And there's clearly some sherry influence when you try the liquid. Can you tell me a bit about the casks themselves, where they came from?
Well, certainly 2 of the casks we reckon were probably American oak casks, going back to those early days. Almost certainly they would have been seasoned with sherry in Spain, because we acquired all our casks in those days from southern Spain. And indeed today we still acquire most of our casks from Spain, they're sherry seasoned. There is certainly some Spanish oak influence in there as well, just in terms of the colour, in terms of some of those spicy dried fruit notes as well. So it's probably a bit of a combination, but probably slightly more American oak than Spanish oak, but they're all sherry seasoned casks for sure.
So just personally, what's it like coming into a company like the Macallan and looking after these wonderful casks? You know, you come in and you discover them and you've got to nurture them. What's that like for you?
It's an amazing honour and privilege, really, to have the chance to look at these whiskies, nose these whiskies, taste these whiskies. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for myself and for anybody else who's lucky enough, if you like, to try them. We often say that it is liquid history at the end of the day.
So this launch brings us up to the 5th of the 6 pillars that you're celebrating, and it's 62 years old. You mentioned earlier it's the 2nd oldest Macallan ever released. What can we expect from number 6?
It'll be older than 62 years old. I can't tell exactly how old it will be, but there's every chance it will be one of, if not the oldest we've ever released. It'll be in two years' time, almost 2 years' time from this year, 2015, late on in the year.
So a lot of whisky fans, see these collections and wonder who they're made for. Are they purely developed for collectors?
We're targeting anyone who loves the Macallan and frankly has got the means to be able to access it. We would love to share these whiskies with as many people as we possibly can. Realistically, because they are so rare, we have very limited stocks of these whiskies left. They are necessarily very limited in quantity, and therefore the number of people who will eventually get to enjoy them will be few and far between. But we hope that they will not only have a fabulous sensory experience when they get to try them, but it's something they'll be able to share with as many people as they possibly can.
But how important are these super premium collections to the Macallan brand as a whole? Because even consumers who buy entry-level whiskies, they're going to see these launches, and that's got to have an impact.
Oh, I think it does, and I think if anything it just reinforces the reputation the Macallan's got for being if you like, a very trustworthy, well-established brand which has achieved, I think, a fame around the world, largely based on the quality and the distinctive character of the whiskey. And so introducing for us, they're almost works of art, which contain some of our oldest and rarest whiskies. I think it can only underline that reputation that the Macallan has, and just give anybody who's got access to Macallan, doesn't matter whether it's Macallan Gold, Macallan Amber, or some of the most expensive Macallans we produce, it's all part of a family, and ultimately it's all made with exactly the same passion and care.
So obviously this is the 5th out of the 6th collection, and as you mentioned, number 6 is due out in 2 years' time. What's next for the Macallan and Lalique partnership going forward? Have you thought about that at all?
We're always talking with Lalique about future projects. We've got a number of things we're discussing with them at the moment. There's some very exciting things coming along. They've also quite recently produced a new decanter for us, the M decanter, which we launched in Hong Kong in May. And they're working on another decanter for us at the moment, which will be launched next year. So a lot of good things in the pipeline. They're wonderful to work with. It's a real pleasure. And they come up with this extraordinary creative inspiration, which is inspirational for us as well. They're great partners to be with.
Wonderful. David, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you for the time.